Hi, and welcome back to the Lock Around the Clock for the final lock, the Super Bowl lock. It's finally here, and I know some of you, I owe you an answer. You were asking why'd I quit after week 10. It wasn't for my picks. It was just personal reasons. Got very busy with work and wasn't able to make the videos consistently, and I didn't want to make videos and just throw stuff out there for you guys to bet on and lose. We did finish the season 4 games over 500 on week 10. We had some really great weeks, and we had some so-so weeks. For the Lock Around the Clock people I've never seen the Lock Around the Clock or that know about it, I pick 3 games every week. For the most part, we went 2-1. 1 or 2 weeks we went 3-0. I think there was actually 1 week we went 3-0, and then we had a couple 1 and 2s. But either way, we finished 4 games over 500, which means we made money. And in the Super Bowl, if you guys follow my picks, they're all on YouTube. You can check them out. We do phenomenal with the picks, especially the prop bets, and that's what we're going to start with. Let's kick it off with the first prop bet, which is the first one of the game, tails, okay? Tails and the coin toss. I love tails. Tails never fails. I pick tails every year. This year, it's got to come out. We're going with tails. Now, first prop bet after tails, total rushing yards by Raheem Mostert. I like to call him must start. He is one of the must start guys I had on my fantasy league this year when I picked him up off waivers. But nonetheless, he has run for a ton of yardage in the last 2 games, and he's had the week off to rest up a little bit and get ready for this game, as the Niners heavily run the ball and they do it well. The over-under for him, at number 1, it's even money. It's plus 100. It's 77.5 yards. I like to take prop bets that I know are going to win, I know are going to come in, and I thumb through them and I get them for you and pick them out so you don't have to go through all the prop bets. This one stood out to me, 77.5 yards against the Chiefs defense that really isn't as good against the run as, say, Minnesota was, even maybe Green Bay, and he tore them up. Look for them to run the ball early and often, and I'm going to start with that in the pick, so I don't want to go too far ahead of myself. But if you want to make money, it's even money. It's like stealing 77.5 yards for Raheem Mostert. Take the over in this one. Number 2, total rushing yards, including overtime for Jimmy Grapes. This is it's unreal. It's 4.5 rushing yards for Jimmy Grapes. Now, there's a quarterback that's in a system that runs first, and basically he doesn't pass a ton. And guess what? There's going to be a couple plays where he's going to get flushed out of the pocket. 4.5 yards, I will run naked around the neighborhood if that doesn't happen. And I'm sure there's a lot of people that don't want to see that, but it will happen, and I can guarantee it. 4.5 yards. It's even money, basically. It's minus 105 on that, but it's like stealing. Take the over on Jimmy Grapes rushing for more than 4.5 yards, including overtime. It's going to happen. You could put that in the basket and do whatever you want with it. It's a lock. Number 3, and again, I pick these games out because these plays out because they are plays that I feel are guaranteed to happen, and we always like to bet without risk, right? So let's go. Number 3, player to throw the first interception. Now this one here is plus 145 if you take Patrick Mahomes. Now if you've watched the playoffs in Kansas City in this last couple weeks, they have turned the ball over early. Patrick Mahomes has thrown some picks. That usually doesn't happen. But this game here, he's playing against a very, very tough defense. Probably one of the best defenses he's played in the playoffs so far. Look for him to throw that first interception, plus 145. Number 4, now this one here I really like. Player to complete the most passes, including overtime, plus 187 if you take Jimmy Grapes. Now, he may not throw a ton of passes, but his completion percentage will be higher than Mahomes because Mahomes throws the ball plenty. The Chiefs throw the ball plenty. And guess what? When you throw the ball enough, you're going to have some missed passes here and there, and they're going to add up. When you throw on a system like Jimmy Garoppolo in the running system that the Niners have, you don't throw as often, and your throws are more calculated. I like this one here. It's plus 187 if you take Jimmy G. Now, here's one that I really like, and it's not for anything more than, well, the odds are great in this one. Tails and San Fran. What that means is San Fran calls tails and they win. It's plus 310. Just lay like 40 or 50 bucks on this one and watch your money raise. Like I said, I like tails. I like for San Fran to win this. They probably will defer this one too if they win. I can't predict that, but it's a nice play if you want to get something quick in there to bang up the money real quick. What I would do is probably put $50 or on tails and $50 on this one here. You can't go wrong. If you hit both of them, you're going through the roof, and if you miss one and you hit the other, it's a wash. Anyway, that's my pick on that. Now, here's one too for you Raider fans out there. I put $40 down on the Raiders to win the Super Bowl next year. $40, you know, it's $40. But if they happen to come in and win a Super Bowl next year, it's $2,040. Just throwing that one out there. Anyway, let's get to the game. Kansas City playing San Francisco in Miami on Sunday. Well, look at it this way. This is going to be somewhat of an epic game. Everybody's talking about Mahomes. Everybody's talking about the Chiefs. Everybody's talking about Andy Reid. This is the first time the Chiefs have been in the Super Bowl in 50 years. Well, a lot of that stuff may add up to a nice Cinderella story, especially for Andy Reid, who's been through a lot in his life. And I guess what? I root for the guy. Well, I rooted for him mostly when he was in Philly. As a Raider fan, I can't root for him in Kansas City. But guess what? The Chiefs are very one-dimensional. Yes, they do have some running backs. They don't necessarily run the ball that well. San Fran's defense has done incredibly well against what? Tight ends. And where is Kansas City's strong point? Travis Kelce, tight end. Look, San Fran, I give the edge to them. Special teams, slight edge, but that's really great because with special teams, they got to move the ball up to get the offense started. They should be starting the ball at a further up the field, I guess, for lack of better words, to give them a shorter field, if you will, on most times. Now, Kansas City, they usually generally start way back, somewhere in the 20, below the, or behind the 20. They just happen to be able to throw the ball on a lot of teams, but not San Fran. San Fran's got one of the better defenses that they're going to play against. They also have a defense that can do very well about stopping the wide receivers and jamming them at the line. They have plenty of players, quality players, even in the linebacking end, as well as the back end, to do this. I look for San Fran to really dominate this game defensively and give fits to Patrick Mahomes, who has not faced a defense like this throughout most of the year. Now, that being said, the San Francisco 49ers love to run the ball. They're an incredible running team. They can chew up a ton of clock. Now, if this team in San Fran is able to run and control the clock and get up by 14, San Fran will be able to dominate this game. And Kansas City will not be able to be on the field long enough to get the plays, to go downfield quickly, to score and make up any kind of a deficit like they did against Houston or like they did against Tennessee. Tennessee was one of those teams, strong run, although Tannehill looked good passing, wasn't enough to overcome what the Chiefs were able to do at home. Chiefs are on the road in this game, not that that makes a difference. It's a neutral field for both teams. Jimmy Garoppolo also has some good weapons like Tyreek Hill for the Kansas City Chiefs and Nicole Hardman that the Chiefs have. They have very speedy receivers. Well, they also have Deebo Samuel, who is an incredible talent. Look for him to be able to get some big plays downfield because of that running game that they have with Mostert, as well as Breida, who may be able to play this game. Hopefully he's getting a little bit healthy. The reports are right now that he should be. But we also look for Tevin Coleman to get back onto the field as well. Either way, I really like the San Francisco 49ers in this game, and they should dominate this game. As a matter of fact, my prediction for the score in this one is 24-14. What does that leave me to? My parlay. The Niners plus the 1.5 because I bet it early, and the under 54. Now, this game ends up 24-14. That under is going to come in flying colors. That is my prediction for the score and the final outcome. Look, I'm not saying the Chiefs are a bad team. I'm not saying the Chiefs can't score. I'm not saying that they can't score at will. I just don't see it against this 49er team. San Francisco is more solid on all three phases of the ball. Offense, defense, and special teams, where I feel they have the edge over Kansas City. Take the Niners, take the under, take the Niners big, parlay the under on a smaller level, I love this game. Look for the Niners to win it. Look for them to dominate 24-14. And that is it. Take it to the book, take it to the bank. And as always, until next season, you take it ace.